Hello there, friends. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here because I have a double-page scrapbook layout planned for you today featuring the To Market collection. I am going to be documenting some garden-themed photos, and this looks like a brand new pack, but I've strategically placed them so it looks that way, but quite a few of these are cut into because this is my second layout using these fun papers. And yeah, I'm excited about today's layout because I have some goodies from my stash I'm going to be incorporating. So that's my husband, and he's laughing there because he was eating the strawberries as he was picking them. So he was cracking up when I snapped the photo. There's a photo of me with some cucumbers, and then this is kind of early in the season for our garden. This is the pumpkin patch, and we put mini pumpkins that'll grow up over these archways, and then these are big pumpkins. We still enjoy carving pumpkins and decorating in the fall, so we like to grow our own. And then another little snapshot. Now this one here is 4 smaller photos of different harvest from the garden, and I've printed them on one 4x4. So stay tuned, I'll show you exactly how I did this. And I have 8 photos if you're counting each of these as individual, or you can count this as one and I have 5 photos. So I'm going to say 8 because it sounds more impressive to get 8 on a layout, right? So let me clear these out of the way here, grab my Versamats. I have already fastened a sheet of white daisy with some removable glue dots for my base here. I am using this layout here as my jumping off inspiration point. This was created from by Jana Eubank, and I got this on Pinterest, so I'll leave that link in the description box below. But I love her layouts and they always inspire me. So you might be thinking I've been using a lot of sketches or inspiration layouts or even scrap lifting myself lately, and yeah, there's good reason for that. I am super busy in the summertime, as I'm sure most of you are, partly because of this, right? Managing a garden, taking care of things during the summer season is definitely more labor intensive than, winter and spring. So this does take a lot of my time and I enjoy it. Plus we're just busy having fun as a family. So using an inspiration layout like this, or a sketch or something like that really helps take away a lot of the decision-making process. So, that speeds things up and I can keep scrapbooking and making progress on my albums while having time to do gardening and other summertime activities. So I know right away I want to use this really fun vegetable paper, and these are 4-inch pieces here, but I'm going to bump them in because I'm going to do a scallop border just like the inspiration layout did. This brings in a ton of color, and of course it's perfect because we've got all of the produce and it just really complements these photos here. So I am excited about this layout. Now we need a piece across the center, and I'm thinking maybe green. Now we could always go with cardstock behind my photos, but I thought I'd try some of the pattern papers. So this is a tone on tone with tiny little plus marks. The opposite side is the fun tomatoes. Now I think that for me, that's just too busy against a busy pattern and it's a little bit chaotic. I would use one busy pattern and then a smaller scaled pattern, and I think that works really well. So let's see what this looks like. Now the problem with this is I would need 2 sheets of paper because if I cut it at 6 inches to go all the way across, that's not quite enough. I need more than 6 inches. So, but honestly, I'm not sure I like the green. There's so much green in the photos that I don't know if green background is the best choice. Now this one, I do have 2 full sheets of this. The opposite side is the florals again. I think behind the photos, so the photos don't get lost, I think a more subtle pattern is the way to go. And I do like that one. I like that one. That could definitely work. In my first layout I created with this collection, I ended up using blackberry, which is the color of the onions, and this is Stampin' Up cardstock, but you buy it in a color family, so you only get 2 sheets of the 12x12, so I don't have enough left. Stampin' Up, if you are listening, it would be amazing to be able to buy colors in like a full pack, just like a particular color, hint hint. So I think the green against the blackberry is awesome. I know Chelsea, I think she used grape, so let's try that. I pilfered my close to my heart cardstock and got a couple colors here. So this first one, this is grape. You know what, that goes really well. Actually, it matches there's like two tones in the onion. The darker is the blackberry, and then the second tone in the onion and beets is like grape. So we could do that. This is sangria. I thought that might work as well too. No, definitely not. Scratch that. So, okay, I'm gonna go with the grape. I'll cut that down and we can mat our photos with this. I cut two pieces from the grape cardstock, and they are both 10 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So these are going to go across our center here. And I just want to mention, if you're following along exactly, my photos are not true 4x6s. They are 4 inches by 5 1/4, and that does include the white border. Now this is a true 3x4 and this is a 4x4. It's just these that are sized a bit smaller. I want to run some pattern paper across the bottom. So these are 10 inches by 2.5 inches. And I just think this little green plaid is going to be really cute down here. Just a pop of green. So we'll run this all the way across our layout here. And this is kind of adding a little visual weight to the bottom of the layout, supporting our photos. I'm kind of wondering how some of this wood grain paper might look from the Country Woods collection. I feel like it definitely could go well with what we're creating here. So there's lots of different tones in here. You've got gray tones and dark earthy brown tones and some colorful wood grains, and then of course like this driftwood look. So I'm just gonna slide it back here and see. So this one's kind of the more kind of grayish driftwood, and it's okay. Let's try this one. I feel like it's too dark. I don't like that with the grape paper. But the opposite side is white with some of the tan. And there is tan wood grain in this collection. So I like that one. I think that works really well. So what I'm going to do is actually cut this down. We don't need the entire piece back there. We can just cut out some of the portions that are showing and piece it together like a puzzle. Let's get these all settled in here. And you know what? I cut that too short. If you notice, I have my pattern paper bumped over, so I could fix it and bump the right side over as well. But let's see if we could add some fun paper layers. That one's cute, but I want to separate them with a solid. So maybe this little strip of green. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and just cut. Again, we're cutting little scraps and tucking them in here. There's no sense in running, you know, the whole length of the paper here. So we'll do the pattern and then a piece of solid green cardstock to give us a little visual break between the two patterns, and repeat the same on the bottom. And now we fixed our mistake that our wood grain was too short. No one will ever know. What you do on one side is always nice to carry over to the other side. And the reason why I mentioned it earlier, I have this one bumped in, is because I want to add a little scallop border. So I am going to, I did already create that. And if you have a scallop punch, that is awesome. You can cut these on your Cricut or Silhouette. What I did is I took my corner rounder punch, and if you take the corner guide off, you can line these up. It's a little bit of a pain. Stampin' Up cardstock, I've noticed, is quite a bit thicker, and this is a very old punch, so it's kind of hard to get through there. But again, I think it's the punch because it's ancient. But you can see the little scallop detail it creates, and then trim up your corners, and there you go. Nice little scallop border. This is a strip of the wood grain that comes with the two markets. You can see it's this nice tan color. It's got flowers on the other side, but it plays in nicely to the tan colors in the wood grain that we added on the background. Now I already have a whole bunch of these little veggies die cut from the pattern paper, as well as flowers and these bags. These are all left over from my first project I created. So you can stamp and die cut the veggies or just cut them from the pattern paper, which is awesome. I created a similar embellishment on my farmer's market layout, and I just think this is so cute with this little harvest barrel, you know, with all of the vegetables kind of spilling out. I love it. So we're going to recreate it on this layout as well. We'll add just a few on the bottom, like maybe the basket was so full they spilled out onto the ground. It's a good harvest year, right? These floral bouquets are also cut from the pattern paper, and I think they make a nice embellishment cluster. So I want a little interest up here, and I also want to create a little embellishment cluster down here. So do I want the orange, the red? I think I kind of like the red. And I do have this little half a circle here. This is left over from my first project, and we could maybe just add this under my photo and then layer these on top just to help those flowers pop a little bit more. This is going to be covered, so I want that out, extended just a bit further, and then we'll camouflage the gap. Now I need a title. I've got several alpha dies, so I thought this one might be a good size. This is the outline alphabet from Close to My Heart. You may have this in your stash. And I'm spelling out the word garden just to see if it's going to fit in this spot. It's going to overlap my photos just a bit, but I think that that will be fine. I do have several garden themed stamp sets in my stash, so I went ahead and took a look through all of those, and I found this one here. This is the Backyard Bliss scrapbooking stamp, and it has the title Garden and this cute seed packet. So rather than use my alpha dies, I thought, well, we might as well put this stamp set to work, and it's just the right size. So of course, if you don't have this in your stash, you can absolutely use dies to create your title and get a very similar look. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this in my stamp positioner so I can get it nice and crisp. And I think I'm going to use Garden Green. We'll stamp this on white. So I've got the Garden Green, which is a coordinating color with this collection. And we'll ink this up. I do use a lot of greens, browns, and blues. So if you're just starting your ink collection, that's kind of a good place to start with the colors that you use most. My title does have a coordinating die, so I'll go ahead and get that die cut off camera. And I really love the little detail in this title. They've got like little plants and watering cans worked into the letters. So these, I've got some garden, a little trowel and a fork and my seed packet. Those were already stamped and tucked into the envelope. Love it when that happens. I thought these might be cute to add to the embellishment cluster, so we could put them over here. And then I thought I could use this for my journaling, and I don't have a ton to say, so I think that this will work well. And we'll maybe put that right there, add a little something over the top. Now this little cute set is the Daisy Meadows card making workshop stamp. I bought this set for this gate because I just think it's the most adorable thing ever, and I'm so happy to have a reason to use it again. So let's actually move these over here. We've got this big space to fill, and I think this might be cute. Like they're into the, the title there. That is cute. I totally love it. Now I'm going to share a couple alternative ideas in case you do not have that gate or anything like that in your stash. You could, of course, go to Cricut. I'm sure you can find a little garden gate there, but just use a tag or a circle. I already had this one cut, and we've got a pop-up pattern paper, and then we can layer our die cut title over the top. Now, if I was going to use this circle, I think I would go with the next size up. But over here, if you don't have your little seed packet, you can add a couple tags, maybe put your journaling on those. And this would be a really cute layout. And again, just an alternative idea. Tags are always a go-to solution for me. In fact, you can even try these tags over on the title side. So let's bump this little circle out of the way, and you could maybe put them this way and stack them like that, and then bring your title back in. I think I would put those up and down. I don't really like them sideways. But anyway, I'm just kind of trying to show some alternative ideas in case you do want to recreate this layout. I actually kind of like that tag right there. I'm going to add that to this embellishment cluster. And yeah, I think that looks good. We can go ahead and bring our little journaling spot back in, and then of course our garden gate. I can vividly remember how excited I was to see this set in the catalog when it came out. I just thought it was the cutest, had to have it. Now I've got a little spot underneath the photo of my husband, and next to the vegetables, I want to add like a little sentiment. So on this stamp, it says "Where Love Grows." I thought that would be really cute. So what we're going to do is ink this up in Blackberry ink and make our own little like word sentiment here. So let's go ahead and center that. That looks pretty good. Now to make this even more interesting, this is the Build-A-Plaid stamp set, and you can mix and match those little strips to make a plaid pattern, but they also make great borders. So if you have something like this in your stash, or maybe like some faux stitching stamps or anything like that, they make, you know, fun little details to add to your little sentiment strips. So I'm going to cut this down now to size, and then I think I'm going to dovetail the edge. But yeah, isn't that cute? We'll pop that in right here under my photo. And what that is doing is bringing down a hint of that white. So we have white in the garden gate and white in our seed packet. And now we have just a little pop of it here in this embellishment cluster. I like that it's a continuation of the title also. Now it says Garden Where Love Grows. I decided to bring in both floral bouquets and kind of add more to this embellishment cluster. And then this tomato and carrot actually fell out of the envelope of the Backyard Bliss stamp, and I thought, you know what, let's use them. I went ahead and hand wrote on my journaling card. And then I want to repeat this pattern. So I brought that in with the tag in the lower right hand corner. So I already had this circle cut, and I thought, well, let's just go ahead and add that elsewhere. So now they kind of tie in together. I also have this, so I want to bring it over to this side of the layout. That could work. We could do that. We could put it there. I don't really love that. That looks random. What about under here, underneath our sentiment strip? I did adhere that down pretty well, so let's see if we can pry that up. It did rip my paper a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to put it right back where we got it from. When repeating colors and patterns, it doesn't always have to be a big, bold statement. It can just be a subtle nod to bring that color over, and I think that that does the job. I was looking through my stash just to see if there was something that inspired me for this particular area here, and I have this sitting on my desk because I was creating with the set that this came from. It's just like a little plant here, so I thought, well, maybe just some foliage up there. Now that is sage cardstock, which actually does complement this quite nicely. It is almost exactly the lighter color of the lettuce there. So, you know, it's perfectly okay to mix and match your greens. That's the darker side of sage. So if you have sage close to my heart cardstock, that's an option. But this is from the Country Flowers stamp and die cut set. So I did get all the dies and put them on a magnet, and here's that one there. So there are stamps or independent dies, and I made this card. So I was making some of these, and that's what this is left over from, but isn't that cute? So you can really go with any color because this is a stamp, and I just stamped Flower Market, and I added the little, these are the, where is it? Let me grab it. Oh, here it is. The liquid pearls and white opal to the center of the florals there. On page 48 of the annual catalog, you can see some card examples where they have created some beautiful cards. So there is an outer piece where you can make that look more like a jug, or you can make it, stamp it and make it look like this little pot that says Flower Market with the handle. So the same die cuts out both options, and I think that's really cool. But aren't those cute? I love the birdhouse too. I haven't had a chance to put that one to work yet, but I've got some ideas for it. But anyway, I started thinking, well, why not just cut some red flowers? So I did, and place those right over this little area. You know what? I think I'm going to put this back behind my photo after all. It's just a little bit too top heavy with that over the photo and this. So then we just add some of these red flowers. There's a large one and then two smaller ones. And I love the little detail in there. I don't know if you can see that. It shows up in the red a little bit more. You probably can't see that, but there's little lines cut into it. So I kind of thought that might be a fun idea. So again, just like a little plant growing, and then this accents the red and carries it up to that corner. This is the wood grain paper. I didn't do any fancy coloring. I just stamped the outline stamp onto some wood grain paper, and that is also from the wood grain paper. And then this little postage edge set is from the perennial postage dies, and there are a ton of dies in here. So that was this one here. Let me pull these out. And these don't come on a magnet. For those of you that are new to Stampin' Up, I add them to a magnet. So that is this piece. So you've got two larger ones for card panels, and then these smaller ones you can do all sorts of cool things with. So this card was inspired by one Patty Bennett created. She had used the postage die, and that's where I got that idea from. I thought it was a nice little added detail. So anyway, I think that's just the perfect little thing I was looking for in my stash. What I'm going to do is actually cut this in half because half of it is wasted, and now I can save this for another project. And let's go ahead and tape this down here. Slide it right behind, and then we can layer our little plant over the top. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It's like blending in with the paper. Let me grab my glue. I do find it helpful to use your tweezers for tiny little embellishments like this, and we will adhere that straight to the layout and then add our little flower blossoms over the top. So these are so cute and tiny. I just love them. We'll add 1, 2, and then 3 because, you know, me and my obsession with odd numbers, right? So we could put these on the garden gate too. That would be super cute. I just might do that. So let's finish these off with a little liquid pearl in the center and just a dollop on each one. Just kind of a fun little textural detail. What I appreciate about this die set is they give you a ton of flowers and they're on one die. So it makes it very easy to mass produce these and add them to a lot of little projects. So 4 different dies, and the flowers do come in different sizes. These are all kind of woven together as one. And then you have a set of 3 and 2 sets of 2. So again, super handy. I want to go ahead and show you how I made this little collage of photos here, or grid of photos. So I'm in my app called Print to Size. Now this is iPhone compatible only, but you can do this in Canva also. You can do it in the free version of Canva. So I have a 4x6 template here for in my Print to Size app, and I'm going to hit the plus button. Now this is going to pull up a bunch of photos, but I already have my photos into albums. So here they are, and I can just select the ones I want. So I can select a whole bunch at once, and then I'm going to click add, and it's going to drop them all onto my canvas here. So what I want to do is I want to make them square, and you can see just by dragging I can change the size. So that's 2.4 by 2.4. So that is, let me just kind of move these aside for now so you can more easily see that. So I have to have them at least 2 by 2 to fit in a 4 by 4 grid, but I want that white border. So I'm going to take them all the way down to about probably 1.8, and now I can just put this up in the corner. Again, I'm preserving that white border, and then I will repeat the process with these. So we're just making them square, and then I can shrink them down to 1.8. So they're the same size. Now I can hit crop, and that allows me to kind of move it around within that space. This is a great app. I absolutely love it. Now there is an app for Epson, for those of you that have the Epson PictureMate printer, which is what I use. I've never tried the app. I don't know, what it's like because I was already using the Print to Size app, and it just is so easy to use. So I have a whole tutorial on this in depth, but again, it's iPhone compatible only. So I am just, kind of eyeballing my margins. With this particular app, there is no template where you would have perfect margins. There are other apps that do that, I think, let's see, let me just make sure. It's hard to talk and focus at the same time. Anyway, Pick Collage or Project Life, those you can drop them into a template. So anyway, you can see how easily I did that. And again, I'm just eyeballing my margins. I use this app so often that they usually come out pretty good. Every once in a while, it'll kind of be wonky and not print where it showing. That does occasionally happen with this app. When I first started using it and in my tutorial, there was a border inside. There was a dotted line border, and then one day it just disappeared. But anyway, that is how I got this particular photo. And then I would print this on a piece of 4x6 paper and then just trim off the bottom. So there'd be a little bit of waste, but it's, you know, it's unavoidable and it's a negligible amount. So that I just wanted to show you how I got this. But again, if you don't have an iPhone and you want a free version, the Print to Size app, I paid a couple dollars for it one time. It's not a repeated, you know, monthly fee or annual fee. It's a one-time deal, and it's just quick and easy. I'll post the full tutorial in the description box below. But again, check out Canva as an option if you don't have an iPhone, or maybe just to explore that and see if it works for you. So you can see when I hold this up that I did add the little flowers to the archway using that same little polka dot pattern paper. And doesn't that look cute with the little stamping under that little sentiment there? And then on this side, you can see how cute those little florals are. It makes a fun little plant. And yeah, I love it. It's so cute and fun and just bright and cheery. I did add a little bit of twine. That is from the Essentials Baker's Twine pack. It comes in, whoops, some dropping things. That was awfully close to my, oh, here's Dave. Wet liquid pearls, wet liquid pearls. I'm going to go ahead and remove Dave before he smashes those and puts little kitty liquid pearls paw prints all over my layout. Everything I used can be found in the description box below the video. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon. Bye.